I'm an older woman, and I've been living alone in the mountains of West Virginia for nearly 20 years now. After I retired, I came back to my old family homestead, a place filled with memories, tucked deep into the hills. Over time, the rest of my family either passed on or moved away, and eventually it was just me out here. That's when things started to change. At first it was subtle. I'd find tracks, large human-like footprints, appearing around the property. Not just once or twice, but regularly. They'd show up near the garden, along the tree line, even close to the house. Then came the missing food. My garden would be disturbed. Fruit would disappear from the trees. My berry patch would be picked clean overnight. At first I tried to explain it away. Deer, maybe raccoons, but the patterns didn't quite fit. This wasn't random. It felt deliberate. And then the prank started. Small rocks would hit the side of the house. Tap, tap, tap. Usually at the most inconvenient times. I remember one evening in particular, I was inside trying to relax, and there it was again. Like something, or someone, was trying to get my attention. That's when I realized I wasn't alone out here. There was a group, a clan, Bigfoot. And the younger ones especially had gotten bold. They didn't seem afraid of me at all. The final straw came when they broke down part of my garden fence and pulled up the tomato plants I had just planted. It was the same spot where my strawberry patch had been the year before, the same one they had already helped themselves to. I stood there looking at the mess, and I'd had enough. I started yelling, not politely either. I let loose, shouting into the woods, making it very clear I wasn't putting up with it anymore. Not long after that, I stopped gardening altogether, partly because of what was happening, but also because I'd become heat intolerant after an illness. It just wasn't practical anymore, but I still had to figure out how to live alongside whatever they were. So I did something different. I set boundaries. I made it clear, out loud, that my house was off limits, that my space was mine. And then, instead of fighting them, I tried something else. I put out a gifting basket. Each evening around dusk, I'd leave out a small offering, food, little treats, and I'd speak to them. I knew they were out there, watching from the tree line, hiding in the bushes. I'd say, "Here are your treats, but you have to be quiet. You have to respect my privacy. I need my rest." Then I'd wish them good night and go inside. Once I pulled the blind down over the big kitchen window, that was the signal. The day was over, and it was time for peace and quiet. And over time, they seemed to understand. The activity died down. The prank stopped. It became an arrangement. That's been going on for almost 10 years now. They only seem to come around during the warmer months, and I've learned that the younger ones are the troublemakers. But if you address the adults, if you show respect, they'll step in. They don't seem to tolerate bad behavior from their young any more than we do. In fact, they've become something else entirely, protective. At night, if someone unfamiliar comes onto the property, I'll hear it. Heavy footsteps, branches snapping, loud stomping in the woods. It's like a warning system. They know who belongs and who doesn't. I eventually figured out how to handle visitors. If someone is coming over, I'll go outside beforehand and let the bushes know. I'll tell them there will be another car in the drive, that the person is with me. Sometimes I'll even bring the visitor out and introduce them, just to make sure there's no confusion. Because one thing I've learned is this: they're incredibly observant, curious, watchful. a bit nosy even. But if you set clear boundaries and treat them with respect, they can be very good neighbors. At least the ones here are.